Thank you, Yash. First up, I wanted to plug a little bit about our community and specifically our Slack community. So everyone is welcome to join this. You don't need a paid Slack account or anything. And you can join alongside Linearity employees and also fellow Curve and Move designers. So it's a great place to hear about what's coming up, to engage with Linearity employees directly, ask for features that you would like to see, and also share your work. We really love when people showcase what they've been up to, whether it's a cool 2D animation or an illustration in Curve. So do scan the QR code here with your phone and get involved. We'd love to see you there. So for the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to walk through Linearity Move, of course, breaking it down into how you import your assets, whether from Curve or Figma. Once in Move, how you can animate them, creating your own motion system, and we'll do a Q&A as well. So at any point, put your comments or queries into the Q&A and also or get involved on audio, and we can answer those live. So without further ado, Yash, I think I will hand it over to you for a demo.
All right, I will quickly start sharing my screen here. And yeah, so as I mentioned, like we will start looking at Linearity Move and begin with something very basic. I'll give you a tour of the interface of and then we will dive into animating and bringing our assets. Again, like I would like to recall that if you have any questions at any point, feel free or Owen, if you feel that the question is more contextual, feel free to interrupt me and then we will take it from there. So yeah, when you open Move for the very first time, this is what you see. On the home screen, I have a lot of files, so all my files are here. You can import your assets. We have a Figma plugin that just recently launched, and I will demo this later on. But you can also import your local files from SVG, Illustrator, or even PDFs. We have a very big learning hub as well, where you will see a lot of tutorials that are coming up. And if this is one resource, or you can directly jump to linearity.io, and here you will have the whole learning hub of under Academy. So there are curve tutorials, there are move tutorials, and then you can learn at your own pace as well. We are also publishing a lot of what's new and how you can get started. So keep an eye for those articles that are coming up as well. On the home screen, you can also organize your folders, like files and folders. So this is how that will look like. You can just click on the folder button over here and it will add a new folder, and you can just move your file by dragging it. That's about the home screen. I can quickly start by creating a new file, and that will be by double clicking on a new document button. And in this tiny window, I can select what the resolution is going to be like, what I'm designing for. I can either choose from the pre-made presets resolutions, or I can pick my custom one as well. For now, I will just stick to 1080p, and for frame rate, I'll just leave it to 30 FPS, which is very suitable for all your social media needs. Again, like as I previously showed, either you can import the whole files or you can import them here as well. I will start with a blank document. And when we land for the very first time, this is what we see and we call as the scene view. In this, on the left, you have the presets that you can animate with. And you can also pre-save your assets, which you can reuse over and over, or you can even bring your photos. I haven't given access to them. On the right, there is the inspector for the style and animation, and I will come back to this again. And on the bottom, there is the timeline. So anything that I will animate or create over here, it will show up as layers on here that I can animate, and I will see the animations here. So that I hope that gives you a very rough idea of the interface. Oh, yeah, before I forget, you have creation tools in Move as well. So you can go to design mode and start creating by adding shapes here, or you can add your text, which is, let's say, hello, and then resize it with the resize handle. So you can start designing your assets directly inside Move. Or if you are working in some other tool already, it's very easy to bring your assets as well with the import options that I showed earlier, or I will show you how to do that with Figma for now. In this demo, we will sort of, okay, let's see this as an ideal state. Like we want to land over here as animated bento grid, and this is what we are aiming as our design, sorry, motion design system. We will start by bringing assets one by one and then compiling them inside Move. So for that, I will start with something very simple, and that would be I'll just select this set of images, and I will copy them as an SVG, and then I will paste it over here. And make sure I'm in design mode and not in animate mode. If I'm in animate mode, any change that I will make on the canvas, it will be recorded as an animation. And what I mean by that, I will show you just now. So let's say I am in design mode. I am free to move these around and nothing is happening over here. But if I go to the animate mode and I move my playhead maybe to, let's say, 2 seconds, and then I select all the images that I have just imported and click on Align button. What it will do is it will create the animation from the 0 second to 2 seconds, and it will create this very nice effect of all the photos that are just piling together. So that's that's the design and animate mode, the fundamentals of that. And that is one way of animating. What I can also do is I can just go back to my design mode. I can select all of them again and then scale them from the center by pressing Alt and when or Option on Mac. And when that happens, everything scales all together, but there is no scale animation happening. But if I were to do that again by going to animate mode and go to 2 seconds, and then select my group over here and then scale it up, what it will do is it will create the scale animation as well as the move animation. So animate mode, any change that you make will be recorded as an animation. In design mode, you are free to move them around and it won't change. Or it won't create a new animation, but preserve the animation that you have already created. So if I move it to the top, it will preserve the animation. So yeah, that's a brief overview. I will do a lot of undos right now. To show you a different kind of animation that I can create with the same assets. And for that, pardon me, 1 second. And for that, what I can do is I can go back to the design mode and probably scale things up a bit more and align them in the center by selecting all of the images one by one. And for selecting multiple images, I'm using shift select. So I can select one asset and then shift select, and it will select everything. Again, I'm in design mode. I will scale up to the size that I want. And when I go to animate mode, like I showed you previously, there are a lot of lot of pieces that I can make use of as well. So for like this is like creating a stack. So what I will do is I will apply a flipbook effect on the assets that I want to apply it to. So for that, I will again select all the rectangles, and then I can, if I go and click on the more options under flipbook, I have two options. Either I can do serial or overlay. So let's see how the serial one will look like. And wherever I'm applying the effect, I will just move my playhead to there. open more options, and then see if my configuration is correct, and then apply. So it will create this flipbook effect on all the images stack for me without me having to, manually manipulate individual images. Um, that's one kind of flip of effect that I can create, but I would prefer, maybe since it is a stack, I would prefer it that the last image is shown, and for that I will choose the overlay option, and then I can make it very quick as well. And if I click on quick one, and then we see like it overlays pretty quickly. Maybe it's a little too quick, so I will go back again and select normal and click on apply. So it's now creating the kind of effect that I'm looking for, which is like creating a pile of image or a stack of images, and then showing them one over the above each other. So that's yeah, let's see, like that's going to be the first one, and I will call this as image stack. And I will hide this for now by going to the design mode. So that's going to be one element. And let's say I want to animate this string as well. Maybe it's a little too light, so I will make it darker. And to import the assets, the one way that I showed you earlier was to right click and copy as SVG, and then you move it. Or the other way is going to be I told you earlier that I'm going to demo the Move or Linearity plugin with you, where you can import your assets now, not just to Move but to Curve as well. And for that, I will select the assets that I want to copy. Let's say in this case, this is the path, and I will just click on copy and come to Move and paste it. So I have my editable path over here as well. I can go ahead and modify it as I want. Again, I'm in animate mode, so the animation is getting created, and all the change that I'm making, it will get recorded, even if it is at the node level. But since I don't want that, I will just do undo. And I'll keep my asset. Um, so we have seen this kind of animation a lot, where the strokes are getting filled up, and that's the very common to do in cases of, let's say, you're creating a signature effect, or like in backgrounds, these ribbons are unfolding and so on. So for that, what I can do is I can go to design mode, and under stroke, for it will work on any path object. So under stroke, you have four options: dash and gap. Since the length of this path is quite big, it looks like around 2000 pixels. So I will make it as 2000, and then I will go to the animate mode. I will move my playhead to wherever I want to animate it to, and make this as 2000 as well. So what it will do is it will create the fill animation on the stroke, and then I can even make it linear so that it happens a little slowly, and we can observe it at a little more ease. And I can make it even faster if I just bring these two a little closer, and then it will happen very quickly, that I couldn't even notice. So yeah, so that's a different kind of animation altogether, like where you're dealing more with paths, and trimming the path itself. So maybe this is again, going back where we want to end at. We are just taking elements from this grid one by one and trying to animate them, and then we will bring them together. I will take a quick pause here and see if you have any questions in the Q&A, or if you want to, if any particular explanations are needed over here, let me know. We can keep it a little more interactive as well. Owen, are you seeing any questions?
Just a few questions that came in, and they were kind of responded to on the fly. So yes, we're recording, and we'll send that out to everyone.
Okay.
Also some questions on the SVG copy paste, but our guy Sam has been on top of that, so looks good. But yeah, if anyone has comments, or if share how they might use this, throw it in the Q&A, and we can address.
All right. Okay. Then I will continue. So yeah. let's say we have animated the stack of images, we have animated the path itself. We can animate text as well. And for that, I will select the text and go back to the plugin again. And the plugin is called Linearity Move and Curve. So you can just find that on the community pages on Figma. And I will select my text and copy it. And for this, I will hide this again because we are working in layers, and I will build it up again. Um, and paste it. And copying and pasting the text is as easy as yeah, just copy and pasting. I will select the text that has been pasted over here and modify the fonts. Since it's a fully editable text, I can double click on it and change the word, the letters or words, or even add more text. Here I will do and make it a little more heavy. And yeah, I think that is good enough. So I will zoom in and see what are we working with. And on the text, again, like there is a reveal animation that happens that is very popular effect that we can take a look at. And again, I will go back to working with effects over here. There is the mask reveal effect, and I can select the direction where the effect is, or where the text is going to enter from. Let's say probably from top to bottom, and normal. And then if I just click on apply, we have this text reveal animation. Or maybe I will just do from bottom to top in all of them. So I will just click on normal and then apply, and then I'm getting the effect over here. I will select the second layer and apply it to that one as well. Just a second, I want to apply it to font name. Yeah, and I have the mask reveal effect from bottom to up. Okay, yeah, it is applied. I have an extra keyframe here because I forgot to switch to design mode earlier. So I can come down here and remove that as well. And for the third one, again, I will apply the same effect to apply. Yeah, and I can and if I play back now, all three reveal animations happen at the same time. And why is that? That's because like the group 1, 2, and 3, if I call this maybe text 1 so that we can see it a little more clearly, and call this as text 2 and text 3. Yeah, so all three of them are happening at the same time. So that's why we are seeing them happening together. But we can we can make them a little more natural looking, and that would be by creating a cascade effect. And I can just drag the animation a little more into the future so that all of them don't start at the same time, but like with a little pause in between. And with that, the first one happens the first one happens, then the second one, and the third one. I can even exaggerate this effect by dragging them even more, and now it's even more sequential. So with that, the animation looks a little more natural rather than everything happening at the same time. So yeah, this way I can go ahead and continue to animate my effects. Or let's say, like, why are we doing this actually? Like the whole reason for working with text is so that the copy can change at any time in the future, and then we as designers want to come back and edit it. So if we set up the system in a way that is easily editable, with that we can do with the design mode. It's much more flexible for us, right? So I can select the text over here, and maybe culture is celebrated, or like I can edit it to whatever I want. Maybe instead of we believe in a world, I say that we envision a world where joy is abundant, right? Yeah, so I can edit the text as well, and then maybe move it a little to the side. So, and my animation itself will not destroy, like it will remain as is, and yeah, and continue to work. So that's the third piece that we have now animated by itself. And by now, like we have enough assets, so we will try to bring them together in the grid that we saw earlier. And how that will look like is I will hide the text group as well for now, so that I'm working with a clean slate. And here I will bring up my assets. So I can copy the whole of my grid as well, and maybe make these as white as well. And maybe this. So yeah, I have my template grid and I can copy the entire frame here as well, or I can actually directly send it to Move as well. So if I do that, it will create a new file and then we can animate with that. I will just copy and paste it over here. So I have the grid and I will move it at the back because I just want it as a reference to see where everything is fitting. I have my image stack that I animated, and since I'm in design mode, I can move it wherever I want. I can scale it down and see it probably here, and that it will continue its own animation as we saw it. But now it's in a frame, so it looks much more cleaner and organized, and I can reuse it. There is the vector that we animated. I will move that here, and I will improve the, like I will make it visible as well. And here as well, like if we see it, there is one thing happening. Like if we see the vector over here is going from fill to non-fill, right? So we can actually flip that as well by just going to the animate mode and moving the first keyframe over the next. That it's going to go from unfilled to filled. So I can, yeah, since I have access to the keyframes, I can edit that as well. Also, please let me know if it's getting a little too tricky. I can probably break it down a much more clearer. Please feel free to ask any questions if you have it, and then I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, then the next piece was, and I will call this as stroke because that's getting animated. And then the third piece was text, and I will show this one as well. I'll go back to the design mode and move the text onto here. And now we have some sort of continuous animation going on where like the image stack is animating, the path is animating, the text is also animating, and then we can continue to bring on more assets. And for that, yeah, I would again take a pause and just a quick check-in if you have any questions, or I will just move to the something called auto animate, which I'm most excited about, and I want to show you how the plugin works with that. So yeah, any questions, or should we just continue?
And no questions at the moment, but we will happily share the source file that Yash is working on, both in our Slack community and in the email follow-up with the recording afterwards, so people can play around with all the beautiful animations Yash is making too. But yep, I'll let you know if there's any questions coming in, Yash.
Okay, cool. So, okay, let's say I have this as my logo, and then I can either use text over here or for just like to be more clean. I have converted those texts into paths, but we can use text as well. So I will animate this first in Figma, and then we will bring it to Move, and we'll see how we can actually make it much more better because of the granularity of control that we get. So one way of going about that is probably we will take yeah. Let's start with copying this object like multiple times. So something like, first I want to check that the order of letters is correct. So I have NO, then P R O P L E M O. So everything is in sequence. One thing I want to check because that's how even the Figma animation is going to work, right? So what I will do is I will copy them 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times and change the color of the ones that are in between. So I will maybe make this one as a little shade of red, shade of purple, or blue actually, then green and yellow. So we have like we have the starting point and the end point, and then there is some, color blast happening in between. What I can do is I can actually make these as groups and these ones, and it's kind of like a trick of how far you can take Figma animations, and then you can take them even further with Move. So I have created these vertical lines, or like vertical groups, and I will just do quickly and not to take much of the time. PROPLEM. Oh, yeah. So again, like just keeping the layers clean. And then I will create sort of a mask over here at the back. And for that, I have created a rectangle. And I will call it a mask. And I will move it at the very bottom. And selecting everything that I have over here, I will click on the mask button so that so that I'm only seeing the portion that is above or like covered within the mask, right? So that's how masks work. Like the shape basically hides everything that is outside that shape, and then everything that is inside it will be visible. Just a quick refresher. So here what I can do is I can also create a group over here so that I can easily center align it, maybe a little up. And then I will move it, like I will just duplicate it and create a new artboard and move the whole of the like the vertical lines that we had created in a way so that the last one is visible in the mask, right? So we saw like we are seeing like what kind of motion we are trying to create. Like we want the starting point, then we see the color, and then we see the end point. And with Figma, if I do, no, I don't want to play the whole prototype, but if I choose to do, let's say, smart animate and maybe make it like 1 second long, and then I will preview it. I think it works on click. So with Figma, if I do it, it sort of is like a monotonous way of working, right? Like everything is happening at the same time. And because of the lack of timeline, I cannot do much about it. But if I were to select these two artboards, and I will go back to my design mode, open the plugin again, as we saw. Did I launch the plugin or no? Oh, sorry, this was already launched. I forgot. So I will select these two artboards and then I will click open and move. And what it will do is it will share the two frames that I've selected, like the two frames that I've created over here. And then I will just quickly drag and drop and create a new scene out of it and maybe make it like 2 seconds long. I can change it later as well. And then click on import. And if I do that, it should have the same animation. If I didn't mess up anything. Mask. Ah, okay. I see what is happening. I will try to recreate the same thing over here by just removing the mask and then copying the whole thing and then pasting over here as we are seeing. And then we have our groups as we had created earlier. So we can just pick up from the same point here, and that's very quick as well. Like I will just redraw the rectangle over here and call this as mask and move it at the back, not inside and yeah, here. And then I will call it as, I will create a mask out of it. And you can find that at the very top. And if you click on mask, we are in the same point as we began. And what I will do is I will move my playhead to the second point, and then I will move the entire, and it means the entire shapes that we have just created over here. Just make sure that we are in animate mode before doing that. And then if I do it here, we are in the same point, right? So this is what we did with Smart Animate in Figma, and this is what we are doing over here. But the thing is, in Move, since you have the timeline, I have the flexibility of maybe taking 3 seconds for this animation. And what I can do is I can start creating the cascade effect that I showed you a little earlier and move the animations a little more naturally, like one after the other and not happening at the same time. And if I just so happen to do it by just dragging these animations one after the other, and maybe I need a little more time because instead of 3 seconds, I will give me 4 seconds. We will see that the animations that looked so mechanical, like that is like everything is happening at the same time. If I undo over here and then I play back in the prototype mode here, like where like everything is happening at the same time, if I just make tiny changes onto the timeline where I get more control, that same animation ends up looking so much more natural and fluid, and like feels like a little more pro, I would say. And you can like, this is still happening like a little too slow for my liking. So I can change that. Instead of 2 seconds, I can make that 1 second long as well by just changing the time or the duration or that each letter is taking. But for the but again, like that is going to be a iterative process. So yeah, this is how we can animate logos as well. So I will just copy this animation and go back to my old file, and in design mode I will just paste it over here. And since I'm moving it in design mode, nothing means my logo animation will be preserved. So I have my logo animation now. I have the text animation. I have the path animation. I have the stack animation. So like again, like our system is sort of like coming together. I will just show one more type and also like what the scenes or the scene timeline is look like, and then we will take the questions. So for quickly showing that, I'll go back to the project timeline, and here we are seeing a small scene. So scene is like a smaller part of a longer animation so that you can design or like divide your animations into smaller parts and then manage them easily. For now, I will create a new scene and create, let's say, a oval, and I will copy the colors from here, maybe this one, and paste it here. Again, I'm in design mode, so I can make the changes. And then I will also design maybe a star animation with more number of points over here and a little more higher inner radius, and then make it maybe, yeah, maybe blue. And then I will change it here as well. So yeah, another way to animate is like we select these two objects and then we click on morph. And what morphers do is like it will change one shape into the different shape. And here, since they were at two different points, it's animating them like from this point to this point. I can overlap them as well. And then click on morph, and what it will do is it will keep the same position but change the shape or map the points from one shape to the other. I can yeah, make them longer by dragging the snapshot over here, and it will drag the whole like change the time or duration of the whole animation, that how long it takes. I will quickly copy this and paste it here, go to design mode and move it to the last grid item that we had open space for. So now we have the logo animating, we have these, this animation is happening a little later, so I will probably pull this in like close to the starting point. And we have the images animating and we have the text animating. I can create a copy of this again and then move it below and then scale it down a bit um as well. Maybe if I do not this. Yeah, sorry. I move the center point of this. So yeah, now if I do, yeah, and I can scale it down and then I can move it, scale it down maybe even more. Yeah, and then the animations will continue to happen in their own place. So yeah, I will pause now, looking at the time, and I would love to take more questions and yeah, happy to answer them as well.
Well, Yash, people are really impressed by this beautiful bento box of wonderful animations you've made in less than 40 minutes. So that's nice. We have a question from Safana.
Mhm.
Where can I find Morph on iPad app, and do we have Morph on the iPad?
Yes, Morph is on the iPad. So there on iPad there are two things you can find Morph. It is one is under quick actions. So let's say, let me check. We actually will have it here. There will be a morph tutorial you can find over here, or we can share that. But on iPad, you have the quick actions. So if you select, let's say I'll go here. You have, let's say, the two shapes that you have designed. You select both of them, and then there is the quick actions over here, and then I should have a better way of communicating that. Let me see if I have my iPad open, and I can probably just, yeah, share that with the iPad. But can we take the second question and then we will come back to this?
Yeah, another question's come in, and I think you just showcased the resources in the academy about
Yeah.
learning more about Linearity Move and how they can advance their animation skills beyond this webinar.
Yes. So that is on linear. If you go to Linearity, and then we will share the link as well. Then there is the Academy. If you're interested in curve tools, there are curve tutorials. There are whole courses on if you're just getting started. Or if you're interested in Move, then there are resources related to Move. I'm sharing this one in the, yeah, okay. Owen already shared this, so all great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
And another question, Yash, has been there's been a lot of positive changes with Linearity Move with new features. And what can we expect next?
yeah, so we have a lot of more new features coming in, improvements as well. So I would say the key features are more on the lines of like introducing videos. So you can use you're not limiting to just animating everything by hand. Videos actually give you add that personal touch, that you can record something and then include that in your designs, whether it's like a beautiful sky or like yeah, I mean the sky is the limit, right? So you can add whatever videos that you're looking for. That's going to be the first thing, I believe. And then we have a lot of text presets coming in as well.
Amazing. Okay, that'll help a lot of the social media use cases. So, good
Yes,
video.
exactly. Yeah.
Another question. Can we animate a change in size and change from thin to bold letters, both at the same time?
Yeah. 1 second. Um, I'll check is this question in the chat, because I'm
Yes.
having a hard time imagining it.
It's in the Q&A. Could we animate a change in size and change from thin to
Thin
bold
to
letters?
bold letters both at the same time. Animate change in size, thin to bold letters. Let's try it out actually. Say, um, we have, let's say, text here. Let's see if let's change it from thin to, yeah. So are you looking for a smooth change, or are you just looking for yeah, like that change can happen at any time? If that's the case, then yeah, then it is certainly possible. The one good trick to do that kind of animations is also that you can probably group the element and then apply the scale animation on the group. So it will basically resize like not at this point, but here, and then I will just scale it up. So as we can see, uh, there is the name change happening, and then there is the scale happening at the same time as well. But it's still animating, but the timing curve is like a step curve. So it will retain the same timing curve, and then it will quickly change to the uh, thin thin weight, for lack of better words. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Hope that helps, Jan. And worth a shout out that we love helping out people on their design. So if you are in a Slack community and you had a source file like this, happy to share that and get involved. So yes, yes, that answers that perfectly.
Yeah. All right. Then there is one thing where yeah, we had a question about how to morph on iPad. So I'm just taking a screenshot from my iPad where if you select two shapes which are eligible for a morph, so keep in mind that morph only works on vector shapes. So you need to be a little careful that you have the vector shape selected. And when that happens, you will see the morph icon on the quick actions, and then tapping on it will create the morph animation. Same way it does here. Yeah, I hope that helps for the iPad question.
Anonymous question on the export formats, Yash. What do we have available?
Yeah. Yeah. For export, so once you are ready with your animation, probably since I don't have anything in scene 2, I will delete it. I will click on the export button. Here you can export as MP4, or if you're looking to have transparent backgrounds, you can switch to MOV, or like just enable this transparent backgrounds, so that you can use probably some vector animations that you create in Move in other or like on the web with transparent background, or you can also use GIFs. And GIFs also have the option to keep or remove the background that you're looking for. How the transparent background basically works is that when you create a new scene, the scene itself, when you select it, there is a background fill. And if you enable the fill, then yeah, then you will see that as the background color. Or if the fill is disabled, then you will see the transparent background.
Beautiful. I think that is all the questions. So unless there's anything else you wanted to show us, Yash, but we'd love to save this source file and share that out with people as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. I will share. Yeah, I'll share it with you, and then we can share it with the community. Um, I would like to show that, yeah, once you are bringing your assets from let's say from Figma. Let's say you have copied this one. I will just quickly demo it again. That copy and then come here and paste it. No, this one, sorry. I will do like a command. Yeah, I want the whole thing and then copy and then paste it. I can select or like save my assets basically under the assets. So if I save that, I have the logo that is available to me, and I can rename it and keep it as okay, I have that already. So I will call it logo final. Um, and I can keep those assets, and whenever I need those assets, I can just quickly bring them and start animating from there. So just a quick note on how to, you know, manage your files in a better way so that you have all your assets handy, and then you can quickly bring them to animate them with presets, or you do it everything on the timeline. Yeah. And yeah, as you dig deeper into the tool, you'll find a lot of nitty-gritties. And I would love to hear what use cases you come up with. And yeah, happy to help on the we'll be very active on the community channel. So let me know.
Beautiful. Well, Yash, you make it look so easy. I think you really showcase what Move is all about, which is powerful animations, but in a way that is easily accessible. So with clicking and dragging and using presets and the timeline, you've created these wonderful animations in less than an hour. So kudos on that. Hopefully everyone who joined got something up from this, whether you're an After Effects wizard or you're just starting out on your animation journey. Hopefully it was helpful. We'd love to stay in touch. As I've plugged already, our community Slack. We have a lot of resources online, and do reach out if we can help on anything as a follow-up from all the information we sent. So I think that is it. We'll hopefully do some more of these on a frequent basis, certainly once a month. So stay tuned for that and all the updates coming with Move. And we wish you all the best with your animation journey. So happy animating. Thanks for joining, and have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Yash, and thanks, Sam, on the questions.